Welcome to the One Up Podcast. I am your host, El Caballo, a.k.a. Tony. Here with my co-host, of course, all three of them. Lively bunch. We got Doe, Mateo, and Pooch in the fucking building. And if you guys notice, there's a slightly difference in the quality here today. Pucho has ascended to the 4K world and left us peons behind.
I sure did.
Looking like garbage.
I don't want you guys to feel bad, you know.
Nah, it's gonna make us all buy that fucking camera. That's what that shit's gonna fucking do. Although, if we all get the camera, could you imagine when we all back in the same house doing a recording, we'll all have our one camera on our face, and it'll be just like you could do like quick pop ins and out.
We could get different angles. We can go above and play dice.
Doughboy wants a under the table angle. Fucking weirdo.
It's real weird.
You got to get the
weird.
feet swings.
Gotta get the dolphin shots.
Yeah.
Is that what it's?
How is he gonna see Doe's hook dick? You know, unless you're under the table.
It'll be. You won't see it because someone will be trapped underneath there and can't escape.
I'll grab your leg.
Nah, don't touch me with your hook dick.
We don't take sexual assault lightly, okay?
Nope.
That thing is frightening, though. I did not need to see that picture of a dolphin's penis last weekend, Pucho.
I apologize. I grew up, you know, I like the National Geographic, the Animal Planet and stuff, you know. And I learned, you know, dolphins have rape caves and it's disturbing.
That
and
shit
they
is
look cute and cuddly.
Yeah.
They're not. They're evil.
That shit is fucking disgusting, though, that you want to be a dolphin.
He didn't know. And in Doe's defense, he didn't realize that's the ilk that he was aligning himself with. But
Yeah, I wasn't too sure. The water, the marine world is crazy.
That was a secret level in Echo the Dolphin, though. Like, just had to collect all the chaos emeralds and then you could get to the rape cave.
Jesus Christ.
Honestly, it makes all sense to me now that Doe wants to be a dolphin or he think he is a dolphin or want to be. It makes sense to me now. The way his manner is in life and what he does and stuff, it all kind of ties in perfectly.
No, he said he's a turtle now, and after spending 2 4-day weekends with Doey and knowing his morning routine, I think the turtle's pretty accurate.
100%.
Yeah, I take incredibly long to get ready.
Yeah,
It's
it's a
accurate.
little disgusting.
Leaves the floor all wet in his bathroom too. Like,
No,
turtle
it's just
move.
it's a dick move on Doe, right? Because he's like, don't disturb me on my vacation. Everything is always him. Meanwhile, he got an Airbnb with his buddy. It's like, okay, like why the fuck? So
I did not say that.
what do you do this? This is your attitude all the time. Don't plan my vacation. Don't plan my vacation.
No, that's because you told. All right, this is a side
The
conversation.
real problem, no, fuck aside. The real problem is Mateo's waiting for you, right? He's waiting for you.
Well, he's
And
waiting
you're-
for you.
And you guys are but after.
Wait, are we
that,
talking
after
about
that.
when I was at the VFW?
Yes, he's waiting for you, and fucking Doughboy is lollygagging around doing a whole bunch of shit that he shouldn't be doing, and Mateo's just like, yo, I'm just trying to drop my bags off. You can go fuck off anywhere else you want to go, but I'm just trying to drop my bags off.
Tony,
And
the only thing I was waiting on is that Price is Right wheel to land on the dollar so I could get myself a free Stella.
shit was never gonna land on there. Shit never lands on there. Anyways, how was everybody's weekend though?
Go
My
ahead.
weekend was fine. No one else wants to talk.
Sorry. As you saw, I was taking a nice swig of
Yeah, but you're not by yourself. You're a police.
God's brew, the water.
I was trying to figure out who he was talking to specifically,
Anybody.
so we're not just all answering at once.
I mean, my weekend has been okay.
Say hi, guys. This is my cousin's my cousin's son. This is,
Hi, how are you doing?
So it's your second
doing
cousin?
A podcast right now.
Again?
Pull it down.
Again?
Yeah.
Wow,
That's-
you're encouraging him to
You're-
go maskless? Unethical.
In the mic.
Hi.
Um,
Hi.
Hey, buddy.
Hey, guys.
all right.
He can't hear us though. That's
Give me a
extremely
second.
weird.
Oh my gosh.
Be careful
Okay.
with the hook, though.
Now we got to put that
That's
we got kids in the
big.
recording.
Oh shit!
Okay. Oh, we do actually. Yeah.
Yeah.
Fucking dope.
So,
My weekend was pretty good. I think Booch has got the more exciting weekend story than I do.
I think I have
Really?
not that exciting of a story, unless you're reminding me of something I forgot. But my air conditioner broke. So that's what I'm dealing with. So hence the tank top. Okay, it's not a stylistic choice. It's purely to remain cool. I took a cold shower. It's about 90 something degrees out there, and the heat's creeping in. Really, what's happening is there's the board on the unit is like kind of fucked up, so it'll run for a while and then it'll like turn off. But the inside unit keeps running, so what that means is it's pumping air from outside into the house,
Just hot
and
ass
it's
air.
not going through the cooling. So now you're pumping 90-degree air into your house. So yeah, I got a little temperature gun. I'm shooting the vents. I see it coming in 50 something degrees, and then next thing you know, I'm like, it's a little warm, isn't it? And then I'll go and shoot it, and it'll be 80-degree air. I'm like,
Damn.
you son of a bitch. So that's sort of what I've been dealing with.
You probably had to clean it out. Like sometimes with the coils and stuff, like over time, dog hairs and shit like that would get in there and get it clogged up. Or the drainage drip that it has, it's probably clogged. Sometimes you might have to suck that out too.
Yeah, no, I did all that. It's the board is fried. So the board is like fucked up.
You should program something so that it doesn't fuck up, Coach. You're a programmer. You're a coder.
Yeah, I mean, I don't have too much experience with like the embedded programming, which is like writing code like straight to hardware like that. It's usually like pretty simple code, but then it's like, if you fuck it up, you could fuck shit up. So,
Some of that shit is super old school too, though, right? Like, I've heard that like there is a huge need for people to still know how to like program on punch cards, because a bunch of like the Department of Defense shit still runs on like punch card programming.
Oh man, I've
Which
never
is
heard of that. That's
fucking wild.
horrible. Yeah, I know there's still like people still need Fortran programmers. They still need like Ada programmers. These are really old like programming languages. Like Fortran's like one of the first.
Why don't they just switch over to the new shit? Like, is it too much of a hassle to do that?
Yeah,
It's expensive.
pretty much. It's like if some company invested like a couple $1 million into producing something, and it's all like in one programming language, for them to then reinvest millions of dollars to get it to some new programming language without the certainty that it's gonna work, it becomes a hassle. Like they're living by the old adage, like if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
Yeah.
Except it is a little bit broken, but it's just cheaper to do little fixes instead of reinventing the wheel.
I see.
Yeah. Well, how about this? I had a funny situation with my AC guy. I called an AC guy, right? He's my AC guy now because I like the guy. But he pulled some bullshit on me, It's like, there's always some shit, all right? He's like, yeah, I don't. Yesterday he came out. He didn't know what the problem was. Today, like, I showed him again, and then he was able to figure it out. When he came through, he was like, yo, yeah, I don't know. The refrigerant is a little bit low. Maybe I could, maybe I'll put £1 into the system.
Damn.
And he's like, yeah, I usually charge about $65 a pound. And I'm like, all right, that sounds fine. All right. He's like, yeah, I'll put £1 into the system. He goes, he puts his like,
it's like a recharger.
His tank.
Yeah.
He puts it on top of like a scale to measure like the difference in weight. So, to prove that like how much he's pumping in. Why, when he's done, he's just like, yeah, so I pumped about 2 pounds into the system. I'm like, come on, guy. You gave me the quote. You told me you're going to do 1, then you just did 2. Like, now I got to hit you with an extra 65. Like, that was not consensual, baby. Like, I don't like this.
That's rough.
So I ended up paying the guy $200 yesterday. Because he had a service charge. He came, he cleaned the clothes, and he looked into it. And then today he came free of charge to like check it out again. I'm cool with it. The refrigerant was low. I just thought it was funny. Like, yo, here's the quote for 1 pound. I'm only going to do 1 pound. And then when he's done, he goes, yeah, so I did 2 pounds. It's like, well, come on, man.
Well, that's on you. You're the one that chose to do 2 pounds.
Yeah.
You should
I should have been
watch.
staring at the scale. It's a pound.
You should definitely watch him how he fixes that shit, so that way you can learn. Don't have to call that dick back. You don't want to call him back. at all.
Yeah, that's what I usually do.
See, still more excited than my weekend. I haven't done shit, dude. I've been lazy all weekend. It's been great because traveling to and from Florida, I didn't think it was going to be as difficult as it was to get to that state and to leave that state.
Any interesting spirit stories from your travels back?
We had a very angry baby. We had a super angry baby. I mean, they moved my gate like 4 or 5 fucking times. They moved my time several times. I was running back and forth in the airport. They kept moving. I swear to God, dude, every single time they changed the terminal, it was on the gate, it was on the opposite side of the terminal. I paid $14 for a gin and tonic at the airport bar. I paid $65 for a charger that I could use for my phone because I didn't have a charger all weekend because I forgot it when I was leaving. So I paid $65 for a charger.
No way. You should have just let me know. I didn't know that was the case.
You had that spare one, and I thought about taking it, but then I was like,
Dude,
you know what?
You just had to
I'm gonna
ask.
be in the airport for 20 minutes tops. But nah. It wasn't
we
the
had
case.
that. We had that Las Olas trip. We enjoyed ourselves.
Mm-hmm.
We went to Benny's on the beach. We played.
The beach was gorgeous.
Yeah, he hadn't been to the beach in like 10 years.
Mm-hmm. Been a minute.
It's funny
That's
too.
interesting though that he called Lake Worth Beach gorgeous.
Yeah,
It was pretty. It was a nice beach. It's better than the beaches we have down here in Texas.
Lake Worth Beach is gorgeous. I don't care what anybody says.
have you been to the beach in Mexico?
It's where the tropics begin.
If you haven't been to the beach,
Is
in
that what the sign says?
Yeah, that's what the sign says. It's Lake Worth.
that beach
where
is
the tropics
trash, bro. I've seen a beach that me and Pucha enjoyed, and that's a beach. Crystal clear waters. I can see everything from miles.
Do you want to see everything that's in the ocean though?
Yeah, because I want to see everything that comes my way. Yes.
Just in case a stingray pops up.
Fucking swim away and shit.
Apparently, it is incredibly rare to get killed by a stingray.
Yeah,
Y'all
then
know
they
that- y'all know
typically
that
just want to leave you alone.
Yeah, y'all know that Steve Irwin, like the chances of him dying to that stingray attack were incredibly low. Like there's like 5 deaths every year. Super fucking low.
That's so fucking wild.
It was a
Yeah,
big shame.
I think that they were like shooting something with stingrays though, or something like that.
Yeah, it just stabbed him in the heart.
It got him right in the heart.
And I don't know where I heard or read, or maybe someone told me he did the wrong thing. Like when you get stabbed by those things, I think you're supposed to leave it alone. But like he pulled out stuff, and then it's what killed him.
Bro, you got stabbed in the heart. The heart's not going to keep beating.
I'm just letting you know what the animal people say, okay?
Yeah, it's like anything in life.
You might be a fucking heart doctor. You know, I don't know. I don't know your background, Tony, but
If something stabs you or goes into your body, the number one thing is that your initial reaction is to pull. They say not to pull. Because if it does cut an artery or something, it's holding the blood in there. Once you pull it out, it's just gonna spray like fucking water fountains. Like they said, don't ever do that. So
I have heard that if you're ever shot with an arrow or anything, you're just supposed to leave that shit in there. Like you don't pull out the arrow.
Nope.
I don't know when in my daily life I'm gonna get shot with an arrow, but I got that knowledge there for when that happens.
it's really if you get basically punctured by anything. Is if you get stabbed with a knife, you could, shot with an arrow, or apparently get stabbed by a stingray. Just leave whatever got in your body, just leave it there because, like Tony was saying, once it goes in, it's almost like you didn't really get stabbed yet. Like you're not like your body, like that knife or whatever is still kind of blocking a lot of the blood flow that would come out once there's now a gaping hole.
yeah.
So by leaving it in, it's still going to bleed, but the flow is going to be much less. Once you pull that out, it's going to start gushing.
Yep.
Now I'm picturing Tony going to the hospital holding a full-on stingray with the stinger stuck in his belly.
I'm not letting that shit. If I'm gonna die, that shit's gonna die with me. Fuck it. That shit.
The stingray got me.
Think I'm gonna hold it like this. Oh, it's in me. Like that's a beast. Yo, Doe. So, how was your experience at Casa Guzman when you guys stayed
It was
here?
amazing. I ate some of the best pasta in the world. Piece of garlic bread. I enjoyed myself thoroughly.
For the fans, Doe's flight got pushed to Miami, and
Yo,
the next
that
day
sucked. Oh man, I wanted to do so many things that morning. I wanted to grill. I wanted to get a pub sub. I was able to do nothing because one, I take too long to get ready, and two, while I was in the shower, JetBlue calls me. I missed the call. When I look after, I was like, let me just check my flight. That shit says Miami the next day. I said, hold the fuck up. I can't make it to Miami tomorrow in the morning. So when I called the JetBlue number, it said, you have to wait 245 minutes until the next caller. So I was like, hold on, that's like 4 hours. So I did the live chat. Live chat even took like 25 minutes for somebody to get on there. And then once I did live chat, they accommodated me with something in Palm Beach, and then everything was fixed. But I was still flying out the next day, which kind of sucked.
Did they offer you anything for you just unexpectedly staying an
No.
extra night? That's bullshit.
Absolutely not.
And you pay for the flight security stuff, right?
What
You paid for a
security
seat
stuff?
upgrade, right?
I paid for a seat upgrade because every available seat was in between two people. I'm kind of a big guy. It's not working.
Yeah, I always pick aisle, dude.
I don't like aisle. I feel like I get hit by that drink cart.
I know, but I just like I like to dominate some of the aisle space. You know, I put my leg out there. You know, they get mad at me. They always tell me, sir, and I gotta like move a little bit. But I'm cool with that. I'd rather have that extra space than having like the window seat where now you got the side of the plane and then a person. If you're in the middle, you're just fucked.
yeah.
I was a little tight on my flight. So like the lady came by and like I had my big, you know, I traveled out of the one backpack. And the lady came by and she's like, sir, she's like, we're about to take off. You need to push that under the seat in front of you. And I just looked at her and I kicked it. It didn't move at all. I just kicked my bag. And then she just walked past.
Oh my god.
What a dick.
I mean, like he's trying to say this is as in as it's gonna go, okay?
Look, bitch. Look.
The worst part is when you have your backpack there, there's no room for your feet to go anywhere.
Yes, there is. Depends on the size of the fucking backpack. It's that you travel with so much shit, though. You travel with so much shit. It's sickening. It makes me sick. The amount of shit you travel and you don't even wear. You'll pack like 16 pairs of fucking shorts and you'll only wear 2. Because you're there for 2 days.
He likes options.
Fuck, is he a runway model? I'm a
He
simple
just
man.
likes options.
I get
I
nice.
like, how about the time this dude, I don't remember where the fuck we were. Maybe it was Texas or something. He brought a suitcase just for like different shoe options. He had like his shoe bag, and then he had his everything else bag. I thought that was funny.
He only wear 2 shoes the whole trip.
I didn't count, but
I watched.
the man likes options, you know?
But like I was trying to get to,
I've gotten better.
this nigga
Gotten better
Doe
about it.
got so mad at me, Pooch, when he was at my house. Because him and Chris were on the couch, right? So this is what Doughboy does. Doughboy seen that the mood was time to like lay down and go to sleep. Doughboy goes to the living room and Patricia put out pillows and blankets and clean towels for them on the table, right? So they
We
can
literally
select.
all laid down to go to sleep.
No,
It
stop,
wasn't
stop,
I
stop.
saw the mood.
That's my
We were
story
all
right now. Stop.
Big
This-
shout out to Patricia. She is an awesome lady. She was
An
very friendly when I
angel.
met her.
An angel amongst angels.
Makes you wonder why Tony's such a piece of shit, right?
So, moving on. So she laid all this shit out for these guys, right? And there's, good blankets there. There's some premium quality blankets and there's some okay blankets. Whatever. Options for people. Thickness, whatever. Doughboy goes, grabs all the pillows. There was 3 pillows there. He grabs all 3 pillows. Goes to the corner lot of the couch where the AC hits hard. And
I didn't know that.
And then, no, you didn't know that. And then grabbed all the couch pillows and put it in the corner next to him. And then Chris comes with the blanket and he uses the couch pillow, one of the couch pillows. I'm like, yo, Doe, why are you dominating all the pillows? Oh, it's a wall, so so no one can see me and I can be covered here. I'm like, yo, Chris is like away from you, though. He's like a whole couch away from you. And you dominated all the pillows. He's like, oh, I wanted the pillows, whatever. Da, 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 da. So whatever. He gave Chris a pillow. Chris had a blanket. He was chilling there sleeping.
I give Chris mad pillows.
Then we started watching A Quiet Place 2. Meanwhile, the movie's quiet as fuck. So it's because everyone's not talking. And Emily's next to me, and I looked at Emily, and she looked at me with a face like, whatever you're thinking of doing, do not do it. And I looked at her. I grabbed my pillow and I fucking flung it over there towards Doe. Smacks Doe right in the fucking head. I'm talking about full on. Bah! You hear it smack his face. Doe's like, seriously, bro? Seriously, bro? Wow, that's fucked up. That's fucked up. You hurt my head. I'm looked at. I looked at those like that's the same thing Dudu said when he got smacked by Mike.
It didn't turn into a sexy pillow fight.
Nah, Doe was upset. He was really upset about it. I was laughing.
Here's my question. You really try to take all the pillows? Like you were really trying to leave Chris with no pillows?
No. This is all exaggerations.
So you didn't have 5 of the couch cushion pillows?
I did take quite a few though, I'm not gonna lie.
Hey, Tony, I've got one question for you before we move into topics. Did you ever find that Ouija board? Or is it still...
Yo, I don't know where you put it, my nigga. If it's in my house, I'm going to be fucking tight.
It's made by Milton Bradley.
I don't give a fuck if it's made by the Jehovah's of Jehovah's. I don't want that shit in my fucking house.
Tony, we're just doing a science experiment. We're just seeing what happens.
If it's made by the Jehovah's of Jehovah's, whatever that means, I'd be way more creeped out than if it was made by the Monopoly Man, you know?
Also, little X-rated version of the pod. There was a movie playing on our TV in the living room.
This nigga put porn on.
Oh,
all
no.
right?
I was sure
this nigga was showing off that he has all the channels. He's like, I got all the channels.
Doughboy got mad happy when he saw this BBW getting blamped in the shower. He got super excited.
Wait, you have the porn channels too?
Yeah, for free. I got all that shit for
fucking
free.
creep.
We started watching porn as a group of people.
And it's fucking hilarious because we're just going through the channel there, and the big girl one stayed there, and I was like, "Oh, Doe, that's all you, Doe. That's all you, Doe." Doe got mad quiet and just stayed in this corner just watching this shit. I had to change
Was
it off
Luca
immediately.
there?
What a liar.
Just adults.
I was commentating on every porn video that he was putting up, all right? I was not staying quiet in my corner.
You was
In your pillow
quiet.
for it.
Had to clean all the pillows and shit.
Jesus.
Fucking hook dick Doe.
This
Call
is
that
just
boy Young Dolph.
nothing but attacks, and then you wonder why people think that you don't like me.
These
This
two
is
do hate
nothing
each
but
other.
attack.
I love Doe.
I heard about the grocery store visit.
The grocery store was fucking awesome. We were creating cinema in there.
No, you're a dick. The lady look at you like you're a dick.
I'm a dick.
Emily to this day said, "Wow, Doe can't count." I'm like, why? You got 2 packets of buns and only 3 pieces of meat left.
Who
I'm like,
got
fucking
the
Doughboy.
buns? Who got the buns? You
Doe,
got
you
the
was
fucking
right.
buns,
You was
Tony.
right next to me
You
talking about
bought
36,
the
48,
buns.
17, 38. All right,
Nah,
yeah,
so then,
I'm
bitch,
like,
you do the math then.
no, bitch.
Don't
I
fucking
told you.
blame me. You grabbed the buns. You grabbed so many fucking buns. You can't count.
For the viewers and listeners out there, this man Doe, a party of 10, wanted to get the fresh pre-packaged fucking burger meat. The ones are like 4 patties for like $10. He wanted to get at least 20 of those.
20
versus the frozen ones that are really good. And then he tell me, "Oh, it's because it's money an option. Is money the problem?"
I asked. I said, listen.
Or a grin
is
on your
this-
face.
I said, are we going all out or are we trying to save money? Is money going to
There's
be
a
an
middle
issue?
ground.
Yeah, we can go
There's a
all
middle
out.
ground between like penny pinching and then like just splurging.
No, and it was the right move. Buying the frozen burgers was the right move. Those tasted delish. I was very.
There were steak
I
burgers.
liked them. when Chris said we should put a burger in our breakfast sandwich, it's one of the best things that I've ever eaten.
It's called a
He's a
hangover
pothead.
burger. And he's a pothead.
Yeah, it's the last time I'm sending you guys to the grocery store.
Sending
I was-
him.
I mean, I don't know whose it was. I'm not blaming anybody individually.
I
I'm
got
saying-
my happy eggs. Hopefully,
Sure.
you're enjoying the happy eggs now.
Emily's like, yo, why would he buy such expensive eggs? I'm like, baby, because he said he didn't want depressed eggs. He wanted happy eggs. She's like,
Facts.
wait, what? I'm like, he says the other egg brands are depressed eggs. They're not good quality
happy.
eggs.
This is happy eggs.
She
I
was
want
like,
happy eggs. I
"You're
want my happiness
She looked
in
at
my
me
eggs.
and she was concerned. She was like, that's your friend. I was like, I know.
I don't know. It's the last time I'm sending you guys to the grocery store. I was quite shocked to be like, yo, grab some hamburgers and some hot dogs, and then hot dog buns and hamburger buns, and then you guys came with about that, and then the bill. I saw the receipt was like $230.
It's 186 or some shit.
I was like, yeah, I don't. It's not adding up to me, but I'm not gonna like focus on it like too much. But I'm just gonna do the shopping next time.
It's that, yeah. In fact, you should have done it, because, bro. First off, and then you're
Well, I
calling
was
me.
gonna do it. Doey just called me and was like, "Yo, I'm already at Publix. What should I buy?" And I was like, "Oh, I was actually on my way." So I was like, "Whatever." I love that. I was gonna send him the list. He's like, "Wait, why are you sending me your list?" I'm like, "Well, you're at Publix. Like, aren't you gonna just wait? You're not gonna go to Publix too?"
I
was
told
like,
you to
"Wait."
send me a list several times.
David, you did. I'm saying when I told you, now that you're there, you should just buy everything. You were shocked. You were like, "Wait, you're not also gonna go to the grocery store and buy stuff?"
Yo,
No,
though,
I'm
you
happy
told
I did
this
that.
man that you was at the grocery store.
Yes,
He lied to you.
it's okay. That's what he said.
I wasn't at the grocery store. I was headed there.
That's a lie, because you didn't even pick me up yet. All right, let's
It's a
stop
work in
attacking,
progress.
though.
Yeah,
This-
I think
let's
the
stop
plan might have
attacking, though.
changed though. I think Doey planned on going alone, and then
And then you
he
told
went
him to
go-
take Tony or something like that happened.
because I remember
Nah.
he had a turn from where he was going to go pick you up, and then you guys got coffee, and then you
I didn't get coffee. He got coffee and cigarettes, e-cigs, and then he
I'm
came and
saying
picked
you
me up.
guys. That doesn't mean you together. Y'all went to the coffee place.
I did not.
You didn't go to the coffee spot.
I was at my house the whole time.
I see.
No, I
Yeah,
picture
got
Tony
coffee.
just sitting in the car all pissed off with a window cracked.
nah. I would have been tight.
Like a fucking
'Cause he called me mad
he has a sign on
concerned.
the fucking window. It's like the AC's running. Just don't leave him alone. Don't worry about pulling him out the car. Like he's just sitting there. Like,
The man calls me so concerned. Yo, can you just meet me at Publix? I'm like, where are you at? I'm right down the street. Just pick me up and we'll go together. All right. And then Emily's like, what's wrong? He can't get the list or something? He's like, no, I think he needs help. He's like, oh. I was like, he's never made a purchase more for than just one person, so he needs help with it. She's like, oh, okay. Like, yeah.
he has, but
He has never. You should have seen his, bro. You should have seen his little.
Doe used to go
list.
grocery shopping for him, his mom. He used to feed me for sure. I'm telling you, what the fuck?
He's never made a big purchase for more than like.
He's had a fully stocked fridge anytime I've gone over to his place.
Then
I don't know
maybe
where
I,
you're
I
making
might have
these
I might
claims.
have gone there when it was empty, because every time I went over there, he had nothing to drink, nothing to give me for food, or maybe he just didn't want to give me food.
Yeah, I think he
That's
don't
probably
like
what it is. He doesn't like me. Never have. He made me pay for my own blank CD disc and then gave it to somebody else, and then I didn't have MP3 music. That's what
That's
that
true.
was. That's
true.
a
It's
fact.
a true story.
So who doesn't like who, though? How the tables have turned.
My, how the turntables have.
Yeah.
I
Anyways,
love how Tony's like, yeah, you're right, Mateo.
dick. So I do have some topics here for us to talk about. Every week we
No
have
fucking
topics.
way.
Yeah, but these topics are good. And since we only discussed 2 out of the 3, the third one, obviously, we'll discuss that towards the end. But the first one I want to ask you guys, going to the bar, right? if we go to the bar every single day, is that a good thing? And does that promote or does that create bad habits throughout? Like, is it a good thing for us to go to the bar every single day, or not every single day, but every week, go to the bar once or twice, drink, and then come home? Like, is that a good thing for us? And does that create bad habits? And I would go ahead, though. I'll lead with you anyways, but
I started drinking late in life. You guys, I think, literally were the first people I started taking shots with. And for a long time, I didn't want to take shots. So I started drinking like 2 or 3 years ago, serious. And I started to frequent one specific bar. Sometimes, I mean, I don't think going to a bar every single day. I'm guessing if you want to have that one beer, that 2 beers, and then be out, but it can lead to a very bad spending habit. And I don't think drinking that many days out of the week is very healthy. But I like to go to the bar at least twice a week. A good 2 bars. I go sometimes Tuesdays and then maybe Saturdays. I'll go to the bar. And I enjoy myself very thoroughly every time I go there. I try to have a good time. It's my time to socialize. It's my time to see my friends outside of, this group.
Mhm.
It's just very healthy for me. It's been very healthy. I met a lot of people there. A lot of good people, a lot of assholes, a lot of weirdos. But all through and through, I've met people, and it's what I'm aiming to do: is meet people.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. That I mean, I feel like the question is pretty obviously geared towards like, yeah, going to a bar as a regular is probably gonna be worse for you health wise and stuff like that, and money spending and stuff. But I think the main thing is like, there's I guess 2 things that I think of. One is like, it's a way of like socializing and just enjoying yourself with friends. You meet new people, and that is healthy too. Like, being alone or not going places is bad for you, like your mental health. The other from the other perspective is like, I was just listening to this podcast where it was talking about like the drinking habits of like Americans, like over time, and how we now today, we don't consume as much alcohol as we used to, like way back in like the mid 1800s, but we consume alcohol like in a worse way, which is like, we like to drink alone. And I think drinking alone at home and not drink, and then as opposed to drinking for like social reasons, I think that could really lead to bad habits. So if the only drinks you're having are at like the bar for the most part, where you're drinking with people in like a social setting, you're probably going to drink less overall than if you just like drink at home. So I'm saying it could be like a positive aspect. But.
Mm-hmm. I mean, in general, drinking is bad for you. Drinking is probably worse for you than we even realize. I think there's a recent study that just came out that said there were like 70 million cases of cancer have been linked to alcohol. I'm a little wary of those studies because I think that if you look at the overlap between people that drink heavily and people that take care of themselves, there's not a lot of overlap in those two. So maybe those numbers are skewed. What is it they say? Correlation doesn't equal causation.
It's
Right.
like a one out of what chance that we're gonna get cancer? It's like
We live longer these days, so eventually we're all going to get cancer. You're either going to die of natural causes and get into a car accident or something, or we're going to live so long we die of cancer. Eventually, your body just shuts down and gives up. It's fine. Death is inevitable. We're all just killing time.
it's
Yeah.
it's my brother's birthday, by the way. Cheers, guys.
As the
Yeah,
alcohol
shout out.
swings in.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to Mike.
He would have pranked our podcast so often.
Yeah,
The
I
amount
would
of
have.
times he would have bust into the room
He
on
would have
Doey.
like showed up, yeah, and then taken over. Doey, move. Get out of here. Hold on.
I
wanna
would have
talk
accepted
some
that.
real
I would have
quick.
accepted that. I would have been like, Mike's a perfect substitution for Doe. Oh, Doe can't make it because he's shitting himself on his bidet? Fine. Mike, come on in.
I got a bidet in the attachment. I should be bideting in like less than a week and a half.
Nice.
I'm excited. I'm
Why
gonna be
that
blasted
long?
because it takes a while to come in on Amazon for some reason.
Now, I think the interesting part of Tony's topic, though, is does being a regular lead to bad behavior? Like,
I think it does.
Because I think that's interesting, because I do know that at the bars where I'm a regular, I get poured heavier shots. I get hooked up on free drinks. You're going to close out, and they hit you with that free shot. Like, and these are things these are things I enjoy. But part of the problem is people have a hard time telling when I'm drunk. So, like, I don't know. They think that I'm mildly tipsy or something. I had an ex that we disagreed about whether tipsy or buzzed or what the actual ranking of like inebriation were, which I think is also an interesting topic. But because for me, tipsy is that's the start. You're tipsy. That's the very start of getting like inebriated. She disagreed. She thought buzzed was the start of getting inebriated, and then it was tipsy. Like it was a whole thing. But yeah, so it's especially if it's hard to tell if you're actually drunk, and then you're getting hit with those free drinks, you're getting heavier pours. It could lead to some bad behavior. I drank my way all the way through the spring menu at one of my bar that I go to regularly.
Yeah, I like that bar.
I drank through the spring menu once, and then halfway through again, and I was fucking wrecked. I stumbled home that night. I jumped a fence. To my apartment complex because I was too lazy to go through the front entrance.
He showed me the fence too. He's like, "That's the fence that I jumped."
The fuck?
The girl that when we sat down, she actually made a reference to that. She's like, "Oh, are we gonna drink the entire menu?" She was cool. Shout out to the Night Owl. That's a dope ass bar. But to the Night Hour bar owners, fix your fucking music system. That shit sounds like fucking ass. It's tiniest. It's just like if a stereo had all highs, no mids, no lows, just all highs. And it's just like I was like, wow, this is bad.
What's that one video, Pooch, where it's like there's 10, but then you can go to the 11 because they can go all the way to the 11. Like I love that shit.
But shout out to at Harlem Public and at the Wallace. That's the bar I frequent a lot, and they have I've gotten some bad habits there because some bartenders we see each other, and some bartenders not so much. The bartenders that we do, y'all know who y'all are. I don't have to shout y'all out. I don't want to get nobody in trouble. They actively try to get me drunk, and I appreciate it. I don't think they care if I'm blackout drunk. I think that the point is that we're having a good time, and that there's this going on here. This is very important with bartenders, and like some of my favorite people in the entire world are bartenders. They fucking have treated me very great. They're like a therapist, but in a different way. It's really nice. Very nice. The people have treated me very well there. I've met a lot of my first gay friends there. A lot of my first gay friends were bartenders, and those people took care of me. And shout out to them. But now I expect free drinks.
Wow.
Hey man, that's what happens, man. Once you start tipping people, then in Doey's world, a tip means, yo, I'm scratching your back. You're gonna have to scratch my back later.
I scratch your back pretty fucking hard when I fucking tip too at the bar. I scratch like $10 on your back.
Not
So
the Uber drivers though.
No, the Uber drivers don't get anything. What are they getting anything for? What are they doing? Fucking driving me to my destination, bro. What am I? I'm not seeing
air
this guy
conditioning.
again.
Sometimes they got a little bottle of water in there.
Yo, you know what I've learned about Ubers? Yo, people that have good shocks in their cars, shout out to you, because not a lot of these fucking Ubers have good shocks.
That means you should tip them the most.
No,
That's
so that they can invest the tips into the shocks.
That's because Uber doesn't. The Uber takes like a 70% cut of their fares or some shit like that.
Yo, people make a living off Uber. This can't be that bad.
They got to do a lot of driving though.
I think you make a living on Uber until your car dies and you have to get a new car. And
you realize, like, holy shit, I probably should stop doing Uber now that I have to, I bought a new car and they're like, I haven't made this much money. I'm not going to make this money back. And then they just stop Ubering.
I
They're
enjoyed
taking advantage
driving
of
when
the
I was down there.
people. They take advantage of the people that are going to try Uber. It's rare you see someone who drives Uber for long. You know, everybody does it for a little while, but then they end up stopping.
Yeah.
I think it's a good way to get off your feet.
So
if you just move somewhere and you know what I mean, you need some quick cash.
For sure.
there's
You
many
said you
forms.
enjoyed driving down here?
I enjoyed driving a lot in Palm Beach. It was nice. It was liberating. I enjoyed it a lot. Once I got in that car, even though it was very small, that fucking cockpit, for a big guy like me, I'm definitely getting a bigger car next time. Just for comfort. But I had a good time. Yo, I drove a lot over there. Only half a tank. Pretty fucking impressive gas mileage on that car too. So Toyota Corolla.
Yeah, it's the small cockpit that enables the good gas mileage.
The
So
more,
we're talking about tipping your drivers back towards you.
yeah,
tip
but
your
I was trying to get it back
Oh
to
yeah,
the bar.
no.
So-
Fuck Uber. I'm tipping bartenders all day though.
I tip my Uber driver. I don't know, man. If someone that knows my address, I will tip them well, and that Uber driver knows my address.
I think about that sometimes. That I'm like, man, I'm sending mad people to my crib to come pick me up, and there's just people who know where I live now.
Y'all remember?
Something about that is disturbing.
Y'all remember Billy Madison? He was nice to Steve Buscemi, and he took him off the list. You don't want to get added to that Uber driver list. No, I'm kidding.
That was a fucking strange scene.
I do think though that like going to the bar regularly and then getting free shots and drinks here and there, like because I went to the bar regularly too. It was mostly during I guess football seasons where it started, and you rack up a pretty hefty bill most of the time, even with the free drinks. Like you can be there all day, and that's just not healthy in any way either. Like drinking like that.
Listen, sometimes you gotta enjoy yourself. So if you plan to go out a fucking football Sunday and that's your fucking thing and
No,
you
that's
want to enjoy
different.
yourself,
But I'm saying
it's
doing
very
that.
nice if your bill that's usually gonna be like 60, 80 bucks is somewhere in between 40 and 50. That's a hookup to me. Like, yo, shout out to you. I'm gonna throw you $25 just so we see each other. Like, yeah, nigga, I saw you, you see me. Let's do this again next week. You
Wait,
know what I mean?
is that the point of the tipping? Joey, I've got a question for you.
What?
When you're tipping someone and they got the little tip bucket, do you make sure that they make eye contact with you before you drop that dollar in?
Absolutely. What's the point?
The point is to
What's
give
the
them money
point?
for their service.
No. The point is so that they know I tipped them. Yes.
I would agree with
That
that.
is-
I want them to see me put it in there. That way they know that okay, he did put some money in there.
Absolutely.
Nah.
So that every time I come back, even when
But
at
I don't
the
need to make
Spanish
eye
spot,
contact. if they're looking my way and I dump it in there, that's fine.
exactly.
You're
exactly.
saying
We don't
you
need to be
look at
making eye
me,
contact.
you
I
look
don't-
at me, and I'll
I
look
don't
at
need
you.
direct.
He's saying that's a figure of speech for like, yo, I'm gonna hook you up. I want you to hook me up later. Is what he means that we see each other. That's strange though, because I always view tip as just like these are people that need this money to be paid appropriately, pretty much. So I just tip from that angle. It
Mhm.
seems like you guys are tipping from the perspective of I want people to know that I'm the one who's tipping, so that ultimately it's a selfish thing, right? Like you want something out of me giving you this tip.
Yes
It's like
and
paying for,
no,
it's like paying for
because-
the premium service.
It's
Right.
it's yes and no, because I'll tip normally I tip pretty well when I eat, but like if there's like an understanding, like I'm coming here, I enjoy your service, we like each other as people, you know what I mean? Let's turn some of these tables around. Fuck these corporations. Fuck these big names. Fuck these owners. These fucking people are not at our level.
Where did
They're
this
not
rate
at
come
our
from?
level. They're not at our level.
You're paying Chipotle directly. I don't know.
You know what, man? They haven't been hooking me up as much as they usually do. I'm quite disappointed. There's a whole roster of new people there. Some of them are mad cool with me. The other day they gave me a free plate So maybe I'm just not happy.
You haven't been
you know.
tipping them lately either.
No, I haven't tipped at all. I haven't tipped them at all.
That's
because
why.
some of the new people suck. They don't really deserve a tip.
Wow. Okay. But
So yeah, I've never had the experience of being a regular at a bar.
It's awesome. It's like Cheers.
I'd like to be a regular at a bar, like just to kind of frequent a place, get to know some people there and stuff like that. But yeah, I don't know. Everywhere I've lived, I've just not really had like bars that are kind of chill bars, like readily available or whatever. It's like, oh, you got to drive 15, 20 minutes to get there and shit. It's like, fuck that.
oh yeah,
Well, I mean, you know me. I've always got a bar in walking distance. It's one of my considerations whenever I'm moving around.
Do you try the bar out before you consider that spot?
No, so a couple of times I got real unlucky. Like when my previous place before this, there was a bar in walking distance. That bar was garbage. That bar was awful. It was like basically that VFW that I was drinking at plus food.
That's disgusting.
But so that's when I discovered like some of the bars down to this area that I live now, because I was like, okay, they're not in walking distance. I can ride my bike down to this bar though. I can have a few beers. I can ride my bike back. Done.
Yeah.
It's probably illegal to ride your bike while intoxicated.
It depends on your level of intoxication. We're talking like if I'm riding a bike, I'm not having more than like 2 or 3 beers, because like not even the drunk aspect of that, just the heat of riding in 105 degrees and then drinking nothing but beer. No, you got to stay hydrated.
Yeah, that'll get to you.
No, but I really do think though, like being a regular at a bar is cool or whatnot, and you could drink, but at the same time, it's like I could just do that at my house and not, you know what I mean? Like, and then they'd be like, oh well, that's just weird. Why would you just go out? People go out to bars to get away from whatever they're doing at their house, pretty much. It's an escape. Like, you just want to breathe and whatever and time. And it's just, yeah, that's cool and all, but people do that shit every day. I know people that do that shit every single day, every fucking, like, it's just disgusting. It's like, damn, bro. Like,
Why is it disgusting?
because you're really, bro, you're drinking every single day, Monday
You're
through
saying you
Sunday.
could just drink at home.
Yeah, and it's safer. You don't have to drive, worry about Uber, or spending that amount of money. You'll save more money in the long run, and you probably won't drink as much, to be honest, because you'll probably just end up falling asleep on the couch. Like, I mean,
So wait, your safer approach to drinking is to drink at home to the point that you fall asleep on the couch.
yeah, better than worrying about the Uber. Like, you'll spend way more money in outings than you do just drinking at home, and you don't have to worry about driving.
I mean, that is true.
There's also the single life aspect of that.
No,
As
yeah, a lot of that shit. A lot of that
As
shit.
a married man with a child, I understand what you're saying.
No,
But
as a married man with a child, you would want to be out more to get your own space and your alone time. If Pucha had a good bar,
I feel that way.
if Pucha had a good bar around his house, I'd be like, I'm just gonna go have a drink. I'll be back.
There is a good bar around Pucho's house.
No, it's not. He just said
found,
that.
So
he just
So
has to
are-
find one yet.
are there places like, okay, so Austin is a big drinking city. Austin, like, y'all have been to Austin. Austin
I
is a
love
drinking
Austin.
city. Austin is also very like, there's been a move lately because like the crowd, the drinking crowd, like the core of it, I think was my generation, and we've gotten a little bit older. So now there's a lot of push at these places that we used to go and drink at to be a little bit more family friendly, and to have like so people will bring like their toddlers and their kids and things like that to the bar, which I think is fine. I think it's a little weird when it gets to about. I think it's weird when it gets to about like 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, and they still have their kid at the bar. I think that's getting kind of weird in my book. That kid should be asleep, but different strokes, I guess. But are there places like that in Florida? Are the drinking spots, are they pretty kid friendly? Or
For the most part, yeah.
I haven't really.
I mean, I'm in Orlando, and it's not kid friendly at all for the most part, because I live pretty close to the university here. It's a college town, so it's all kind of like, it's like the environment's pretty young for the most part.
makes
There's
sense.
areas that are like, there's the older people that have stuck around,
Mhm.
but for the most part, the strip over here called University, for the university, it's all like geared towards like that 19, 20, 21-year-old like college student.
So you're
there's
not
pretty
having
much no kids.
you're not having a cute like father-daughter day out with Liana while girls over there doing like body shots and dancing on tables and guys are chugging Jaeger. You're not taking her to the bar to go and experience that.
No. I've taken taken Liana to maybe one bar, I think. I don't know. There's a
But I
couple
mean,
bars
like-
that are like, if it's like a bar and grill, if they serve food,
That's what I'm
I
saying.
feel like it's passable enough to like bring a kid around. Florida loves them some bar and grills. Every fucking bar be a grill. in Florida.
Flanagan's is like a bar and grill,
I'm
right?
never going
Yeah,
to
I
Flanagan's
was
again.
unimpressed. with
Yeah, that
Flanagan.
Flanagan sucked, bro. That's the second time I've been to that Flanagan's and I've been thoroughly unimpressed. The only Flanagan's, in my opinion, that's worth a damn
Don't say
is
Lake Worth.
the one on Southern and Dixie.
I haven't been to that one.
He says the
That
ghetto
was-
one.
It's
I think
the
that's
good
the only one I'd been to. I think it's I've been there twice, I think. And I've been to the one in Lake Worth. It was better than the shit we went to. That's
Lake
for damn
Worth,
sure.
10th Avenue and what? And by Combo?
Florida Mango.
Combo.
I do have to say, Doey gave me a little mini tour of where he grew up at, and that tree does look like it's out of a Dr. Seuss novel.
Yes.
And
it is
it
very
has-
strange.
It sprouted a smaller tree. There's a smaller tree growing off that tree. Yo,
Keep it real, Mateo. The look of that tree is the exact type of tree that could sprout from nothing to what it is right now overnight. Like it looks like it grew too fast for its own good.
It looks very alien. It's so girthy at the bottom, and then it's just this little tiny pole at the top.
Yeah, that shit is
is
disgusting.
hilarious. Oh man, that tree is such a good tree.
It's not. That shit is terrible.
I got a picture of that. I should put it up on Twitter.
Should.
I mean, it's a good tree because of the happiness that it's brought to us. Like,
oh no,
I heard
yeah.
a few trees have done that for us.
If you try to do any tree-like functions with that tree would snap in half. You tried to like putting like a hammock on that tree, it would just shatter. It would just bend over.
It probably won't shatter. It'll just be so flexible. It'll just fucking. That shit's
They put a-
unbreakable.
They put a new back door because the back door you could slide the window open and like get in. That was like a secret for me.
Ooh.
I didn't have my key. Push up, bam, unlock. real
That's
quick.
terrible.
They switched the back door.
Did you test it out? Is that how you?
For some reason, every time I pass by that place, they have their
Wow.
windows all open, and I always see someone's feet kicked up. This is the second time I've seen this infamous feet in the air, and it bothers me.
It's probably Uma Thurman. She always got her feet kicked up.
Yeah.
It's funny too that you mentioned the window on the door opens. I remember those days when I used to be with Doey. He'd be like, "Oh, I don't got my key. I gotta open the door like this." I used to stand by the door with him like a lookout. Like I'm looking like who the fuck like I'm about to tell him, yo, they bagged us. They bagged.
There's an alternate timeline where you two went to jail for breaking into Doey's own house.
Absolutely.
Yo.
Dude. And the sad part is, I'm sitting there like a lookout. If the cops pulled up, I'm afraid that I might have ran, even though it's Doey's own house.
Hey, look,
that would have been the instinct would be to run, right?
Hell yeah! There's men with guns coming to harass you. Like,
Hey, yo, break out!
start running, you get popped in the back alley,
It's a
breaking
fuzz.
into my own crib.
Ricky. The Pucho would have got shot in the back. Bow.
Damn, he was going to college. He got the scholarship. He got popped. Would have been terrible.
Wait, so who's the only regulars in this podcast? I'm a regular at a bar. Mateo's definitely a regular at a bar, and you guys have not become regulars at any bars.
I have in my life, but I stopped a long time ago.
What bar? What bar?
Tony,
have
you need
become
to
a
wake
regular
up,
at?
dude.
Carolina
What
Ale
bar?
House. Carolina Ale House.
Where at?
And Boynton.
What avenue? Boynton and what?
Jesus Christ.
And-
what is this grilling?
I don't know. Gateway
Doey
and
swears
Congress.
he's a bar and grill himself.
Doey
What do you
just
do-
barely got in
what do
the
you do-
game. You're still premature in the bar life, though. We've been doing that shit since we're like 18, 19, nigga. Gotta
What do
catch
you
the
do-
fuck up.
What are you
Couldn't
doing,
even
Doey?
get
You writing a true crime novel over there?
Who, Doe?
who, me.
Joey, with all the questions.
Yeah, for
Oh,
real.
yeah.
50 Cent, 21 question head ass. But no, No, yeah, I've been a bar regular. I've been to multiple bars where I knew almost everyone by their name. Because you know me, I always say hello
Yo,
to people.
that shit made me fucking sick, by the way. Yo, everyone who watches the One Up podcast, never visit any restaurant with him. It's just a very awkward situation. Somebody may be spitting in your food. I'm letting you know now, just as a warning.
That nigga Chase was a nice guy. All right.
There's a side conversation. There's a side topic. If you ask wait staff a question, can you expect honesty in the answer to that question?
No.
Fuck no.
No.
I can.
With all that pressure that was on Chase from not only us, but Tony trying to be overly nice. Hey, Chase, the food is delicious, Chase. Hey, Chase, can I ask you a question,
I
Chase?
never asked. You guys asked him a question.
Nah, bro. That shit
I
made
did ask
me
him how he
sick.
felt about it, but I'm with Mateo. I think if they answer in the negative, I think you could trust that it's their feelings. But if they answer in the positive, it's hard to know if they really feel that way or if they're only answering in that way to make you happy to
Dude,
kind of secure the bag.
I work in hospitality. I only tell people what they want to hear. That's it.
That's the approach.
I
That's
think-
90%.
I think the name Chase and people calling you by your name is respectable. Simple and plain. You ain't
You
gonna.
think the name Chase is respectable, and you think
I
calling
think Chase
people by
felt
their name-
respected when I was saying, "Hey Chase, can you get this?" or "Hey Chase, can you get that?"
I don't think so, man. I was looking at his face, and he looked uncomfortable.
Nah,
And
he
you
was
were like-
uncomfortable because
you were
you
like, "Hey
dicks.
Chase, can I ask you a question, Chase?
I never-
Can I get a
never did
straw,
that.
Chase? Thank you, Chase. I swear to fucking
I
God.
never did that. That's
was
just
so
like that.
beast.
Hey
Yo,
Chase, can I
And
get
that
a
might have been
straw,
going
Chase?
extra
Thank you,
harder
Chase.
because of you dicks hating it so much too. Because usually it'd be like, "All right, thanks Chase," or "Hey Chase,
It
I need
was
this."
like
It's
It was-
strange though because you don't call people by their names that much. It's
Except for
just so
Everett.
weird.
Everett.
then Everett was filled it out. He's like, yeah, this nigga, all he wants to do is say my mate name in a fucking Call of Duty lobby. Everett, come here, Everett. Everett.
That's his name. I'm not pronouncing that Russian shit that he had on the fucking gamer tag. I'm not doing that shit. I know you as Everett. I'm gonna be like, "Yo, E or Everett, come this way. Everett, let's go. Yo, that's it." Like he said the same shit. "Yo, Tony, this way. Yo, Tony." Like it's like, nah, I don't feel any type of way. Like when you're at a bar, bro, like especially if you're going there every day and you're a regular, you're gonna call these people by their names. Though you're gonna be like, "Hey." No, you probably know all those chicks' names and dudes' name, and you call them by their name. But hey, Dave, how are you doing? Oh, you
Yeah.
probably do that.
People at the bar think it's weird when I introduce myself as Doey. They look at me and like, you're David. And I'm like, what?
That's even worse. You're giving them two different names. That's crazy.
Sometimes I don't want people to know my name.
I think you need to start introducing yourself as DJ Doey Fresh, the co-host of the One Up podcast. That should be the full way you introduce yourself to people.
It probably would be a good one-liner. Like just an icebreaker. Like it's so much information that they're like, okay.
You should. Anyways, back at the bar talk. I think it's not healthy to drink every single day. That's just me. I don't know how
Yeah,
you
but I
guys.
don't think that's the topic.
No, it creates bad habits, and drinking a
topic
lot is a
was
bad
the-
habit.
The topic was that wasn't even the topic.
It
either.
was not.
just-
Yeah, you're changing.
it's-
the
No,
topic.
that's
It's
the whole
ha-
topic. It's going
No,
to
it's
the bar
about being
regular.
a regular at the bar. You're
And is
adding
that-
this drinking a lot and drinking every day.
No, going to
Those-
going to the bar regular, and does that create a problem? Does that create bad habits? And drinking every day creates bad habits, especially
Yeah,
for
but
health.
you're not drinking every day. Who said
If
that?
you're going,
Obviously.
if you're a bar regularly,
Doey's
used
a
to
bar
go-
regular,
And he
I used
drinks
to-
every time he
twice a
goes.
week.
I
He goes
used
twice a
to.
week.
I used to go a lot. I had my period where I went every single day. Yeah, there was times
That's what
that
happens.
times I have regulated myself, but like yeah, I used to go every day.
yeah,
I don't even know how the fuck I made it, but I'd walk by the bar at the nighttime and I'd be like,
just
we're gonna
one
do
shot.
it again, aren't
Just
we?
one
Yeah,
shot.
we're gonna do it again, aren't we? Depending on which bartender worked, I was more inclined to go out that night.
Now, was
So-
this when you were working night shift?
I started to go as soon as I moved back home here with my family. There's a bar 1 block away, so
That's crazy.
it's very close to home, and it's a quick little shot of like, hey, I can meet someone tonight, and like I could say hello, and I don't know, have some conversations.
Yeah, with someone that's not your family.
Yes. Sometimes you need that. I need to unwind. But
Mhm.
I indulged maybe a little bit too much. I became a bar rat and I got to know everyone that went there, all the regulars and stuff like that. It was quite possibly some of the best times of my life. I enjoyed it. I really enjoyed all
What's the
my
difference in your
endeavors.
mind between a bar rat and a regular?
Every day. Bar rats are there every day. I
Soon as
used
they
to be a
open.
bar rat. No. Same time, just every day. You could be there. You could be like someone who's there from 6 to close or 9 to close. I was the late. I used to go around because in New York the party don't get jumping till like 10:30. You really want to go there like 9 o'clock is too early to be going out in New York. You want to go out like 10:30, 11 o'clock, and then you ride that shit out to like 3 in the morning. Hit up a fucking. You could either go after party and stay till 7 in the morning, but that's not what type of vibe I'm on ever. I'm never trying to party to 7 in the morning. There's no amount of cocaine and ecstasy that would ever take me that far.
Interesting.
Very interesting.
I like day drinking a lot. I'm a big fan of day drinking.
I don't mind day drinking. I think day drinking's pretty dope, especially if
This
it's
sucks.
10:30 is real late for me to start to do my like actual like for the night party drinking. I'd like to day drink and just have like a nice little buzz going throughout the day.
yeah. And then buy a poolside too, like in Las Vegas. They got
Yeah.
all those day parties. That shit is lit.
I'm too much of a marijuana smoker to be a day drinker. I like to smoke my marijuana throughout the day, and then my cap of the night is getting fucking blackout drunk.
See that Pride event that we ended up at, that is prime day drinking Austin kind of thing
Yeah.
to do.
Austin's fucking. I think the next recording should be at Austin. If we ever get
can do
together
Austin.
again, we can do Austin again. That should be.
I mean,
lit.
Austin-
That'd be fire.
Austin would be very nice. You know what? This might be a thing. We travel to everybody's cities, and we
I
get like
don't want to
really-
travel to New York.
I'm so down to go back to New York. I fucking love that city.
Why don't you want to go to New York?
Just to see that look on Doughboy's face real quick.
I might go to New York in September.
For
I think
what?
I think if we go to New York, we don't get an Airbnb though. We all just cuddle up in Doey's bed.
No, I'm good.
It's the only thing that's right.
Mhm.
I have. Well,
No.
listen. If you guys really want to do that, we could do that.
No,
It'll
No,
be a,
we're
a
not
whole
doing
lot
that.
of air mattresses.
No, we're
No,
not
we're
doing
definitely
It's
gonna
gonna
that.
get
be
an Airbnb.
y'all gonna get to know my grandma very well.
No,
I don't
unfortunately,
think,
I don't want
think
to
we
do that.
I don't think we want to do 7 people sharing one bathroom.
And then trying to set up
That's
a
just-
pod,
How would we?
that would be like, it's my room, my hallway. Don't get out of here. Like that's
He'll wake up. You know he's a fucking old grump when he
yeah,
wakes up. He's
fucking
fucking
grumpy
pissed off.
gills.
You're like, hey, I'm just waking up. Don't even talk to me until I start talking to you.
Yeah.
You're like, all right, dude, my fucking bad. And then he'll be like, hey, you want to go get some breakfast or something? You're like, yeah, sure. And then you're like, hey, I just told you not to talk to me. You're like, all right, man. Like I thought we were past it when you started talking to me again. You know?
If Doey ever becomes a millionaire, he's definitely gonna have a Starbucks inside his mansion, right?
Yes.
Thank you. Yeah, hells yeah.
You think he's gonna
Every
tip?
morning.
You think he's gonna tip the Starbucks staff well or no?
Hell no.
Absolutely,
He'll-
absolutely.
He'll probably make he'll probably have an all girl staff and they'll all have to wear like lingerie 24/7 like maid outfits and shit. I see
Sounds
Doughboy
like
doing that.
your own fantasy being played out in your own head.
Nope. Although I do want to,
Nope.
if I ever become rich, I do want to open up like a little beverage spot like that where all the employees will be in lingerie. They actually have, I think it's in
Would that-
Texas. They
Would
have
that include you?
no.
If you're working behind the bar, are you also wearing like a nice little like lacy
I mean,
nurse outfit or
I
something?
could. If they want me
Do
to.
the dudes have to wear chops with their ass out?
No dudes, all
everyone's-
girl staff.
And everyone's wearing
Wow.
Crocs with gibbets in them.
Gibbets.
After frequenting a bar that is has a lot of gay people in it, I am very desensitized to the whole. I could see a gay man in chaps walk by me and just keep it moving. You know what I mean? Like I'm not. It's not stunning to me anymore. It's not like something that I've really like acclimated myself into the New York lifestyle. It's a lot of gay people here. Gay people, some of my best friends. You know what I mean? Like I really appreciate those people. Those people is very accepting, very nice guys.
I'll never be desensitized to a bare ass walking.
Yeah,
near
neither.
me. I don't care how cute or sexy or how anything. All I think of is mad fucking bajos in that ass. You just walking around, you probably sweating in there, and then you want to stand next to me. Yo, God forbid they
The
kind of
sweat
bump you with it a
cheeks?
little bit.
Ugh.
It's like, oh, fuck out of here with that.
All right.
Mm-mm,
Well,
I
that's
ain't
a
about it.
different.
Well, you
that's
talking about
different.
men with chaps just walking by you, and all I
Assless
think now
chaps.
is, does that motherfucker have a bidet at home or not? Or did he just wipe and just chap it out? Like he's just chapping it all over the place, and there's some smeared shit in there. Like, I don't know. This is the shit that disturbs me. Just
Listen,
mad
bro.
stinks.
Is it better to sit on a bar stool after someone that's wearing assless chaps if the bar stool is leather or cloth?
leather?
Leather.
For sure.
You can
Leather,
wipe that
yeah.
shit
It'll
off.
produce the leather will produce
Sweat.
a nastier stank, but you could see it. You know what I'm saying? The cloth soaks it all in. The cloth gives you the false sense of security of like, that thing is clean. You know what I'm saying? I don't know why cloth does that. Leather, you see that sweat stain, you'll look at it and be like, nah. But the same sweat could have happened if it got soaked into the cloth. You'd convince yourself, oh, it's a clean cloth. Meanwhile, the stank is in there. It's in the
And then
fibers.
as soon as you sit,
and it ain't never
comes
getting out.
right out. That
Imagine
smell
you
hits
sat on it and it's like a whoopee cushion, like just stank.
I think I've experienced that before. It's one of the like real shitty dive bars I went to. They had like couches and like seats, and I sat in one of those seats, and it was like the bog of eternal stench from what is that, Labyrinth or whatever. Just this smell just came up. Like, it's like, no, this is why no one's sitting in these chairs. There's a reason why it's a full bar and these chairs are all empty.
Remember them dusty old couches next to? There's a bar on Lake Ave next to Dave's Last Resort that we went to. Why the fuck? It's 10 o'clock. This bar is just pitch black inside. You don't remember that shit, Tony? That we were there, whatever.
Propaganda.
Propaganda.
There was a bar called Propaganda.
Oh, I don't know. Anyways, they had some danky old couches. I sat on it and they were dusty as fuck. It just like similar thing. It wasn't a stank so much as I don't want
A
to smell
must.
this. You know, like a big musty, danky, dusty smell. I was
Like getting a grandma and just giving her a big old huff.
yeah. Prior, this is after all the sweet perfume has kind of worn off. Yo, old ladies smell too sweet. It's too fucking sweet. I don't
Those
know
old
what they
ladies love
doing.
some really sweet perfumes, man. They'd like
It's
they have
got to
to
be that their sense of smell is going away as the years go on, and only that super intense sweet stuff is the only thing they can still smell. So to them, they smell good because they're like, oh, this smells nice. I can smell it. To everybody else, they smelled like a fucking walking bakery.
it's like
That's
a cloud.
intense. I can't take it.
Well, got another beautiful topic for y'all boys. And I think, Mateo, we kind of deciphered what it was. We spoke a little off camera.
Wow.
So, as an adult, what are things when you were growing up that you should have learned or needed to know that, all right, I needed to learn this thing because as an adult, it's like, shit, this is good information. Like, for example, am I on the right track here, Mateo?
That's going to be the full video title right there. It's going to be whatever Tony just said.
Yo, I love how he's like, yo, me and Mateo just deciphered this off camera and he proceeded to just botch the explanation. What the fuck is the topic?
What are things you, as an adult, you wish you had learned as a kid? What are things you should know as an adult? Like, what are some life skills? So what are some knowledge? Just general things of that nature.
Like for me, I think a good example.
I think better eating habits. I think growing up, I didn't learn. As you could tell, I'm a fat man. I didn't learn just like really good eating habits. I didn't eat vegetables. I didn't eat salads and things like that. And these are things that, like, as I've grown older, I've kind of expanded my palate. I'm eating different things that are, I'm like, oh, I could make broccoli at home and it tastes good, and I just never did this growing up. And like, I wished early on I had developed better eating habits, just to make this part of my life where I'm trying to eat better while failing and then losing a lot of weight and then failing and then gaining weight. This whole cycle that I've been on like pretty much my whole life, I think would go better if I had developed better eating habits growing up.
That's fair. I think it's important for kids for especially guys, because especially like in Hispanic families and Latin families, like this tends to not be a thing that guys learn. Learn how to do your fucking laundry. Learn how to cook your own food. These skills are important. Don't rely on, oh, I'm just gonna find a wife that's gonna do that for me. Fuck that. Learn how to take care of yourself.
You just said me, nigga. I know how to cook.
Right.
I learned
Cook
how to
better
cook at
than
a
you.
young age. Me and my brother learned how to cook at a young age, and as we're not good at cleaning, but we are good at whipping up some fucking food. Yeah.
When
my
it comes to
cleaning
grilling, nigga, I grill better than you. You probably got that little stove game on cook there, Betty Crocker. But when it comes to when it comes to grilling, Pucho, I got that shit, nigga.
I'm gonna insult you.
Can we talk about these burgers from last weekend?
Yeah, let's talk about the burgers
y'all was sucking
from
them
last
shits
week.
down. And first off, that grill shouldn't
Stephanie
have
hopped
been
on the grill. Stephanie hopped on the grill, single-handedly destroyed your burgers.
No, she didn't.
With minimal to low
I
effort.
looked at them shits. Them shits looked undercooked. And I'm gonna be exact here.
Is Tony a well done burger kind of guy?
I hate well done burgers. I hate who? I hate well done burgers.
His burgers
I like
were well
medium
done.
burgers.
His burgers were well done.
No, they were
The burgers
not.
were well done, Tony.
The burgers you made.
My
were
bad.
well done.
My bad. They were not well done.
He
You
couldn't
did?
control the heat. He turned this grill on, and this shit looked like a war zone, dude. There was so much fucking
The
smoke.
only reason why there was so much smoke is because it was under the fucking porch. I don't know why the guy would put a grill under the porch. So when I put it outside, it was fine.
There should be no smoke while you're grilling, unless you're
What do you
smoking
mean?
meat. Then there's smoke. We weren't smoking anything. That
wasn't-
shit looked like the biggest. It looked like they were dropping
lie.
fucking smoke bombs in the DZ
That
to
is
get
a-
scooped up by a helicopter. It looked
Such
intense.
a
It was
lie.
ridiculous.
We were
Such
in
a lie.
Verdansk.
We were in Verdansk. 1 second, it was a nice afternoon. The next second, we're in the middle of a war zone. Tony's at the grill master, allegedly.
Tony was lost in the smoke. He kept calling for Everett. Everett, I need you in the smoke, Everett.
I need you in the smoke, Everett.
Yeah. By the way, I'm the only one that wanted to cook the burgers because none of y'all wanted to do it.
Oh, that's 100% true. I had
Y'all
no
some-
interest in grilling.
Y'all some lazy motherfuckers. Like, I didn't want to do any grilling. I just wanted to eat. Nope. Jose, you go cook. I'm not at work. And then people want to complain.
I would have voted for us going to McDonald's and getting like 5 of those 100 buckets of nuggets and just chowing down on that.
Somebody was like, "Oh, there's a grill here. Let's grill some meat." Someone said that. And then
You're
I'm like,
pointing
"Oh,
in the
He's pointing the wrong way.
Oh.
direction. You're pointing in the wrong direction.
This way, doughboy. It's a doughboy. At my screen, it's this way, but I'll go this way. But fucking, yeah, dough.
How come when I point the right way, you're
That's opposite for me.
Same.
Is that the right way?
No, it's the
so
wrong way.
interesting.
It's the camera mirroring that we all have.
Yeah, but I bet you in the recording, I think I'm pointing at Mateo.
No.
We'll see. We'll learn. We'll live. We'll see how it goes.
But yeah, nah. I think that there's things that you should learn, like mechanic work, at least on your own car. Learning how to change a tire, brakes, do oil changes, simple things, right? You don't got to learn how to fucking fix a fucking pistons or shit on your car, but you need to know how to check for batteries or like if the battery's dying or simple shit. Like And that's for girls and boys. They like there's no sexist when it comes to mechanic work. Like they both need to learn how to do it. I think
Absolutely.
more so a girl, if anything, because some
women more so, yes.
because that way they don't get because for some reason mechanic people like to take advantage of females when it comes to because they don't know nothing. I don't know why.
Not even mechanics. People at parking garages, just like anyone in the that has to do with cars, they see a woman and they automatically think they could like play them out of their money. It's super fucking weird.
It is
like.
That's what I'm saying. But they need to learn stuff like that and learn how to do your own taxes and 401k and shit like that. Like money management also, I think, is a big thing.
Does anyone here do their own taxes?
You helped me do that, and thank you, Pucho, for.
Well, I mean,
you helped me do my own package. TurboTax was the first time I was paying a guy $160 a year. Fucking that dude was calling me like, "How come you haven't called me back?" Like, no, man, I did TurboTax this year.
Yeah, I use an online service. I'm not like filling out the paperwork by hand or anything like that.
Yeah, okay. I'm like,
I've done it by hand.
I don't know how to do my own taxes.
I've done it by hand. Miss Gaines in Lake Worth, the math teacher, when she used to do taxes before she got arrested for fraud and all that for her tax shit. Yeah. She taught all of us in class, this is how you do your taxes, line by line, how you can do all the calculations. And that shit is a little difficult.
That's one of the best examples of do as I say, not as I do that I've ever heard in my fucking life.
Do your taxes, but don't do what I did here. I'm taking more on top. But yeah, no, it was definitely, those are shit that you need. And survival shit. Like learning how to start a fire, even though you might never need to, but you never know. Alien invasion comes in and shit just gets crazy blacked out. My people finally get here, Tony,
what is your method for starting a fire? Are you talking like you know how to start a fire just with like some rocks?
I can start a fire with literally sticks and rocks if I had to. A little bit of wool or some dried up grass, I can start a fire.
I want to see this. I want us to do a test of this next time that we're in person.
Yes.
We could do it in Austin.
It's probably legal.
I'm interested because like I know the theory on doing that, but I've never like rubbed a stick to start a fire or anything. I've always had a lighter.
Yeah, I know mechanically the things that you're supposed to do to start a fire. I've just never done it myself, so I don't think I can. I think it'll be a lot of trial and error before I get it right.
Learn how to fish too, like all this shit. What I haven't learned yet is how to properly butcher an animal. I would like to learn that, how to do it properly and store the meat. And you never know. You just never know.
His people usually just tear them apart with their teeth, just dig right in there whenever they're butchering animals.
No, I'm just saying there's proper way of storing meat and shit.
I don't think this is stuff that you really have to learn.
No, but this is like extra. That's like extra shit. But the basics of
first
learning,
you gotta kill the animal.
Yeah, you gotta learn how to hunt, track.
Right.
This is extra. This is all. Yeah. Right, matter of fact, this is all extra. Yeah. Let's just stick to the basics.
He's like, I want to learn how to butcher an animal. That's so far gone from like the situation where you're in is like, all right, well, now you need weaponry, you need hiking boots, you need to be tracking someone, you need to make sure that you have the right clothing, or else you're going to get killed by an animal out there. Then you got to kill the thing. Now we're at the point. Now you got to be in a situation where any of this stuff matters. Like say like all the grocery stores just like vanish, like Thanos snapped. Then it's like, oh, fuck, we got to fend for ourselves.
I don't know. I'm with Tony. I think you got to know how to build your own house from scratch. You need to know how to make your own weapons and tools, and you'd have to learn how to operate a forge and blacksmith.
Nah, I do think there's some basic stuff that people should know. Tony's kind of listing things that people should know, not really for himself necessarily, because these are things that he learned. But
oh, I'm sorry, I'm cutting you off.
No. I was just saying, like, things like changing brakes, changing a tire, changing your oil, swapping out a battery. That's like all that stuff is like basic level. Like that's like the basic stuff that everybody who owns a car should probably know how to do. Like I know how to change my oil. I fucking take it to a place to get my oil changed. It's like I ain't getting dirty and wasting my time. Like the $20 it takes to change my oil, that shit's it's beneath me. I don't want to spend my time doing that. Like, and when I say beneath me, I'm not saying I'm too good for it. I'm just saying I have more interesting things to do with my time, and I could afford that. You know, I know
those
how to
people
do it, but
those people have specialized tools and can get that shit done so much faster and safer than I can. If I
right.
do it, I've got to worry about where to dump the oil. There's all kinds of considerations to take. I have to put the car up on ramps because I don't have a fucking like a jack that takes the entire vehicle up. Yeah, I'm with you on that.
We used to dump the oil just across the street, and across the street from my mother's crib, there's like not so much. I don't know. It's just like Florida has a lot of land that's not for anyone to use. It's just like there. I don't know what the fuck's happening, but there's just big plots of land that no one's ever gonna do anything on because
It's environmental recharge zones, and you're over there
and
dumping oil.
we just we just dumped the oil in there. We're like, fuck it. Dude, yeah, man, when you're poor, man, you do a lot of shit. You dump the oil, you pick up your dog shit, you fling it over the fence into like an alley, and you're just like, fuck it, that's alley shit now. It ain't my shit. Like,
That's so beast.
That's so fucked.
that's fucked, man.
There's someone walking through the alley. He just threw shit right on their face.
Alley shit, man. That's not me, man. The alley shit hit you. Nah.
Yeah, but
But what were you gonna say, Mateo, when you were cutting me off? You're talking about things that you should know.
I was cutting you off, and now I've distracted myself to the point that I forgot what I was going to say.
Forgot.
Wow.
Okay.
but yeah, those are simple shit that kids need to learn when they become an
But
adult.
what do you wish that you learned, Tony? Because that's what the topic is.
Oh, I said it. I like learn more of like when it comes to like managing your money, doing like learning 401k and like even stocks maybe or shit like that. Like something more than what I was taught, and learn how to properly use credit cards and pay them off, and just know like, yo, you could fuck your shit up because credit is everything as an adult. I didn't really know that as a kid, like how important credit is, but those are shits I wish I could have learned.
I think outside of skills, I think there's like just some basic things that it's useful for kids to know before they even become adults. Like, no one knows what the fuck they're doing. We're all just trying our best. I don't know what being an adult actually means. I have no idea.
Yeah, I tell kids all the time, like everybody's faking it till they make it. Dude. Like that's it's like you look at adults, they look like they got it figured out, and it's like really, they're just waking up, going to work, and paying their bills, and everything else is just like I don't know. We're just trying some shit, see what sticks. You know,
Yeah.
It's not like ain't nobody got it figured out. Like
Yeah.
So that's what
Go ahead.
go for it. No, go for it, bud.
I think for me, money management and like that would have been like a great heads up. Like, hey, I don't know, the price of toilet paper, the price of paper towels, price of everything. I learned that as a child early because I went food shopping and stuff like that, but I still didn't have any money management skills. I didn't, but it's like when you're offset, when I was living with a single mother, it was just a whole different experience for me. But like, it would have been nice to know like what I was doing with my money and how I could have saved it.
I was gonna say though, maybe bathroom etiquette.
You're
Just-
tapping into a much deeper issue
Me?
in my life, but like, yeah.
I was making jokes and stabs at your water fucking
Yeah.
filled bathrooms and toilet paper fucking.
sorry, there's a deeper story behind why you soak the entire bathroom. The whole everything is caked in like water.
Let's not talk about that.
Okay, I didn't say I wanted to hear the story. I just want to know that there was one. Okay.
You got my attention.
For sure.
Nigga thinks he's
Yeah.
a bird. He does bird back. Nigga wants to be a dolphin and a fucking bird.
Fucking.
Oh, I'm sorry, bro. That shit. Go ahead. My bad.
You're not sorry.
Um,
It's okay.
I definitely wish I learned more about money too. Like,
Yeah.
pretty much growing up, my parents were just like, "Yo." My parents never even told me to make a fucking bank account. Like I remember, I've been working jobs since I was maybe 13 years old, and under the table, and then there were other jobs that I was able to get when I got older. And I didn't open up a bank account till I turned 18 years old. I got financial aid, and it was the most money I've ever had in my entire life. They sent me a check for $2,400, and I cashed the check. And no, I didn't cash the check. I took it to a bank, and it's like, and look, I was like, I don't know, where do you open up a bank? I'm like, it's a Bank of America, like it's America's bank. I went there to open up a bank because it's how ignorant I was to all this shit. Like I don't know where the fuck what bank you're supposed to choose or nothing like that. And I went to Bank of America. I said, look, this I have a $2,400. I want to put this in a bank account. Like, and that was literally like because I felt like that was too much money to just have lying around. Prior to that, I'd get paid. I had my money in secret stashes around my room in big wads of cash. And
That's
I don't know.
crazy.
Yeah, I felt like I had an amount of money that was a little bit too large to have just like lying around. Yeah, I used to stash my dough. I would have money that I would carry around, but I stashed my dough in different spots in my house.
That's fucking wild. That's like some drug dealer shit. I'm just got a bunch of stashes everywhere, like a pack rack.
You can't leave your money lying around, like especially in my house. My house is like a fucking was a zoo. People coming in and out of my house all the time. So it's like you never know if like some fucking weirdo or something like that, like my brother's friend or something, walking around, they see money and they just snatch your shit. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, it's not till like I got a decent job as well, like maybe 2015 or something, where I, was like, oh shit, I could whatever the fuck a 401k is. I didn't even know what a retirement account was, but I got one through my job, and I was like, all right, I need to hook that up, and I just learned about different things that we should be doing with our money. And it's just stuff that like I wish I'd learned earlier because I could have been investing in myself earlier, instead of just squandering my money. Even and like Tony said, credit cards. I didn't get my first credit card till like 2014. Again, because my mom's like, I grew up like, yo, credit's bad.
Same. That was my dad's thing. He was like, never get credit. His credit's gonna fuck you. Don't get a credit card. You'll go into debt. It's like, you have to have credit. Well, how are you going to get a car? How are you going to get a house? I would like, fuck, man. Some apartment complexes run your credit history now to decide if they're going to give you the place or not. These are important things.
Yep.
I have another one.
What?
I grew up in a very kind of sheltered religion, and I kind of was not able to decipher for a very long time who is a friend and who are people I should not trust. And I put way too much trust in people because of that, because I was just in like a sheltered religious environment where I was told I could trust the people that I was around and only those people. So it kind of put me in a spot where I am way too trusting, and I give people way too much of an advantage over me by just trying to be a good person. I don't know. Like, I don't know if it revolves around me or it revolves around the other person, but I kind of just am overly nice, overly trusting.
Question though. If you were to have a kid one day, would you put him through this Jehovah Witness clan thing that you did growing up?
I have
clan
or not clan. I said clan. I meant like tradition, like
to the religion. Whole. You're saying would you raise him as Jehovah's Witness?
I don't know why I said clan.
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. I see that shit, and unfortunately, my eyes have been opened for various different reasons. I realize now that it's unfortunately, not that it's a load of shit. It's
No, I'm saying like it was just that religion being pressed on you was not.
No, it's not even the religion being pressed on me. It's that the main is some of these religions, they just want your money. They just want a revenue circle, and they use the guise of God and Jehovah, and you're gonna become a better person. And it's just the opposite of what you get when you go in those places. You get a lot of people who are hiding from society because they either are not welcome in society anymore because they do all this bad shit, and they go there for like repentance. So you get a lot of fucked up people um that get put in high positions, and it ends up causing a lot of fucking fucked up shit to happen, and it's just not a part of what you're really going there for. So like I have renounced my Jehovanism, whatever you want to call it, a long time ago. I was very done with I don't know if I'll teach my child about religion because I don't know if it's that healthy. Maybe I just need to not use this ultimate person on top being the decider whether good or evil. I don't know, good or evil is really the good thing to teach your children, because I think there's knowledge in the light and I think there's knowledge in the dark. There's only knowledge you can get being in the dark, and there's only knowledge you can get being in the light.
It
So I think you have to cross these planes constantly and kind of just like get a feeling for both of them, and then kind of like make yourself out of that, in my opinion.
Joey,
I don't
it sounds like you should consider joining my religion. I've actually recently become a Jehovah's Witness, which,
Genova.
which is all about teaching the truth of Jehovah in the live stream.
I'm down. I'm down.
Jesus Christ.
But yeah, for me, like the knowledge of maybe getting more of a straight through teaching. I think a lot of the teaching that I got that when I grew up, although it turned me into a very nice person, and it just not practical in the real world. You kind of gotta have way more defense put up in the real world.
So your mom's not a Jehovah no more, right?
I can't say for her, but I don't know.
You don't know?
I'm not
Okay.
gonna say for her. Yeah, I don't know really where she stands with this whole thing, but I definitely I'm not down with it.
What's the root of that question, Tony?
No, because I'm wondering if she's still, cause obviously she's the reason why Doe and Michael were raised in Jehovah like religion, obviously. So I'm wondering if she still believes in it as well, or is she in the same path as Doe is?
I think she understands that it is a root of a lot of good morals in our life. Like we have a very good moral outlook because of it. But I think when you start to mix that with who is involved in the organization, those are two different people. You're talking about one end, you're learning good shit from the Bible, and then you're talking about an organization that is making more than enough money from all the people who are in it
Yeah.
and not really giving much back.
Yeah, I think I mean I can't speak for Jehovah's Witnesses specifically, but I think in general religion's pretty good for most people. It's not something that I'm interested in for a variety of reasons, but a lot of people just don't like to think about things, like, and religion becomes a nice like little shortcut to a lot of the good things that people should believe, you know?
It's like a moral compass. You need
Yeah.
like a morality compass.
It's like a
Like
little
you're trying to
guidebook. These are things that are bad, these are things that are good. And for the most part, it's like pretty close to what we think
I
of
think we I
in
think we could
society.
get it. I think we could get around that by teaching some philosophy classes in high school.
Yeah.
I don't know that religion makes you any more moral or not. I'd be curious to see what percentage of like the massive like the wars that have happened in the world have been with religion as a root cause. I'd be curious to see some of the numbers. I don't know that being religious actually makes you more moral. I don't know that I can sign
I
off
mean,
on that.
think
I
about
think if you compare the world like prior to like the chaos of just everybody doing whatever the fuck they want, and then then kind of having some guidebook of these are the things that you should be doing, these are things that you shouldn't be doing. I'm not saying that it's I'm saying I think that the world has been a better place I'm not saying because of religion necessarily either. I'm saying that I don't believe that any of this shit is a word of any god. So I think it really does reflect the morals of the people at that time, and people keep interpreting these things differently to kind of keep up with the morals that people feel at the time, right? I'm saying that, like, I try to think about, like, why is hitting someone wrong? Why is something wrong? Why is this wrong? And it's like with religion, you don't have to have those questions for yourself. The book already tells you this is what you should, believe, right? And again, I'm thinking for the most part, it's gonna kind of be the way people are interpreting it now. It's gonna be pretty close. There's gonna be some things that we disagree on, but I don't know. I think that for most people who don't want to contemplate or don't have the mental capacity to do so, it's an easy way to convince themselves to be, like, decent people. I say in quotes, but
I think with the older generation where kids were seen, not heard. You didn't have talks with your kids outside of, like, maybe at the dinner table you'd ask them what they did today and things like that. I think with the older generation, maybe that might have been the case. I think with our generation, and especially the Zoomers that are going to be having kids or are having kids at this point, I don't know that it's quite the shortcut that it is anymore, because now it's widely accepted. You should talk to your kids like adults. You should have these conversations with your kids and discuss morality and death and things like that in very truthful kind of ways and have open debates about that. But
yeah,
I agree that religion was a shortcut for that, because you didn't have to have those conversations, because here's a dude in a white robe ranting about this every Sunday, and you don't have to talk to them about, like, oh, well, why should we not kill people? Why should you not punch your homeboy whenever he does such and such to you? Because there's the fucking priest saying we shouldn't do it because God doesn't like it. Makes angels cry, or whatever. I didn't pay attention a lot in church.
yeah. I still think, like, I agree with you. Like, as time goes on with the internet and the things that, like, psychiatry and things like that are recommending of, like, how you should raise your children, I think that religion becomes less important. But I think us people that are, you think about this stuff, we're not too religious and stuff like that, you've kind of already asked yourself a lot of these questions. I think there's a lot more people that are still very classical. I say classical in the sense of, like, old school, how they're going to raise their kids. They're still going to beat their kids. They're still going to raise their kids in a way that's, I think, is very toxic. Um and it's how they were raised, so they think, yeah, I was raised this way, I think I'm gonna raise my kid the same way because I think I turned out okay, for better or for worse, right? So I think for a lot, I think there's a lot of people that still think like that. So I think, I don't know, I think for those types of people that still are gonna just do things the old way, I think it's still beneficial. But I don't know. I personally don't like all the extra baggage of now, like, because then it becomes with, like, if you ever disagree with this, you're disagreeing with the word of God. It's like, how could you ever disagree with the all powerful being?
That's how you end up trapped in a basement looking around
Diablo.
for power-ups
Facts.
and fighting little poops. That's how that happens.
It's a great video game. Okay.
I do.
Binding of Isaac changed my life.
Jeez.
It changed your life?
Yeah, it was the first roguelite I ever played. I didn't think I would. Roguelites have taken over my life ever since then. I just look for roguelite games. Most of the games I've platinumed are roguelites. They're just my favorite genre of video gaming. Randomize me, baby. Randomize me.
No, that's fair. I don't know. Wait, is that actually true? Because I feel like there were, like, roguelites on, like, the Super Nintendo and whatnot, weren't there?
There's
Like,
random. There's RNG in Super Nintendo and Nintendo games. There's RNG elements, but there's never a game that's like, hey, we made this game on the back of RNG.
Yeah, I mean, there was some old school stuff. Like, what was the Super something
Ghouls and
TV?
Goblins.
Nah, that
Oh, so
stuff. Those are those are set levels. But I remember this other game, Super TV, something super
Smash TV or whatever.
Super Smash. I think, or it might just be Smash TV and not Super Smash TV. That was like a top down. It looks like The Binding of Isaac. It's like a top down twin stick shooter, and you go through rooms, and all of them are like random. A lot of those arcade games were pretty much like a form of like a roguelike, and a lot of it was randomized as you made your way through these levels.
No,
Yeah.
that's fair. What else you got for us, Tony?
Yeah.
I do. Fuck. Sorry, talking to Emily. Y'all niggas is dicks. Yeah. So
The suspense.
my
is killing
why
me.
am
having
I
a brain
dick? I'm
fart.
waiting as patiently as I can.
because Luca's in here because she has to go to the store. So Luca's right next to me.
So Luca made us dicks, apparently.
Yes,
Powerful kid.
strong. He's super strong. I want to go back to that topic you were just talking about before we move on. I do think religion plays parts in people's lives, but like I don't think I remember Pucha off camera. You said that you're not gonna teach your daughter religion. You're gonna let her make her own decision, and I agree with that. And I want to do the same for my kid, but at the same time, do you think, because you're not superstitious at all, and people think like, oh, you got to baptize him so because he's more acceptable to demons and being possessed.
Not
and shit.
doing that.
Yeah, and I don't know if that's because our whole life we've been fucking brainwashed to like by the religion in ways that it just, I guess our parents just thought like that's how it needs to be, and we're that I guess we're the first kids from our parents to break away from that stigma of like we need the religion. So even though
Liana got blessed. She's been blessed by the Catholic waters, right? By the Catholic. No? Okay.
Hell no.
Awesome.
she hasn't been
Okay.
baptized.
My
But
bad.
you'll-
I just thought maybe your mom was big on that.
She is.
My mother got a little upset at me because I was like, "No, I'm not baptizing my kid."
Bucho,
Um,
Lisy wants to give you a coffee.
Oh, nice.
I've
She's
Tell her
blow-
to
she's
come
blow-
on in.
She's been blowing
She
up
needs
our
to
little
be-
Facebook
She
chat.
needs to be put on the podcast. Come on
Yeah,
in,
come on
Lisy.
in.
Come, Lisy.
I've been told to bring it. Like I don't know why she's
Come,
tripping.
Lisy.
We already had
She needs
kids.
to introduce herself. The producer / seducer.
Our
She
head
didn't like that
graphic
you called
designer.
Felix a seducer. She was
What?
like, "Yo, yeah, I don't know." She had a weird reaction to it. She's like, "What does that mean?" He's putting the seducer on him, like she was concerned about labeling him the seducer. I
We
thought it was
just-
a cool nickname. Yo, come on, he's the one milking everybody's girl.
Yo,
okay?
facts.
That's
He
his
should've-
name. So, like, if he's not the seducer, who is? Sorry, his old gamer tag was the one milking girl.
Your girl.
Yeah, that's just beast.
The one milking your girl.
So the final topic, real quick.
Milking.
Well, it used to be like, man, Felix is here, man. He just probably got
Damn.
done milking one of our
Nigga just
girls,
got off the
man.
phone with my girl.
So the last topic I have for you guys: Do violent video games lead to violent behavior? She wanted no parts of your fucking waves, Pooch. Or Doughboy.
Okay, so I got that looks good. I got an answer for this, Tony. The answer is no. And thank you for joining the One Up podcast for another episode.
Take a sip. Take a sip. Take a sip. Take a sip. Coffee time. Coffee time.
As the proper way of the one up, we always tell people you always want to one up your day, and I am gonna one up my day by one upping Pucho.
A firehouse
That-
sub.
Come on, I thought it was hooks for a second.
I thought it was gonna be
That's
something
like that is
good.
a one down.
What's the
one up.
firehouse
I got
Did they give you the
food. I
pickle,
got
though?
food. Yeah, the dirty
give you
ass
the pickle?
pickles right there.
Oh, that's fire.
I can smell
That's
that
fire.
shit.
Take a bite. Take a bite, Tony.
Oh, I'm
I
good.
want to
I'm not doing that.
do it for the pod.
Nope.
You're just gonna show us that delicious sub, and you're not gonna enjoy it at all.
Yeah, because I want to enjoy that shit when I have fucking bajos all on my beard while I'm like, that's just disgusting. There's etiquette though.
So I was thinking about this. I kind of tweeted and got some pretty I felt like some I don't know, some slight, not, I wouldn't go so far as to say dismissive, but just kind of like shut down of a conversation. But the idea of does violent video games make you violent? I think the answer is very easily no, according to studies and stuff. Don't fully believe it. I think there's still cases. Like, I'm telling you, dude, when I was 12, 13 years old, you know, a combination of puberty, a little bit of freedom, Fight Club, the Warriors video game, I was out here trying to fight. All right, I'm talking about like and I feel like a lot of that came from the things that I was consuming, like at that time. And you know, I had that teen angst and you know, all those things that you go through when you know you're growing up and stuff like that. So I don't know. I haven't dug too deep into the studies to know like what their real conclusions are. I know the consensus seems to be that violent video games do not make you violent, but I wonder how many like what other caveats are. Like maybe it's saying like long term, you know, maybe short term you have a little bit more aggression or something. I wonder.
I feel like I've read a study that says that short term there is an increase in like maybe not violent behavior, but like acting out and things like that. And you see that, like, how many controllers did y'all throw as kids?
I threw
Like,
one. I threw one and learned not to do that because now I don't have a controller. I was like, I can't throw
used
another
to punch the shit out of my PS2 remote.
I've thrown some controllers. I did like what my parents did. My parents had this thing. They were like if they caught you throwing a controller, it's like, okay, you're done with the game. You need to go do something else. You need to cool the fuck down.
Yeah, I mean,
obviously you're not enjoying yourself playing that fucking game right now, so go do something else.
no, yeah, because I mean, I do think at least it's some type of violent behavior, but not to the point where people thinking like you can't.
You want? Can I say
You and
one?
Billy keep talking, and it just keeps like cutting off sometimes.
It's dope
really
because I
weird.
stopped because he was cutting me off.
When I was playing Gex Enter the Gecko,
No.
a platforming game,
You got
a
horny?
platforming game for the fucking PlayStation. No, I got so frustrated, I almost cried. I almost physically put me into crying because I was so upset that
What
I
the
could not.
fuck?
That game had
As a child.
very bad camera angles, and like trying to like 3D platform with bad camera angles, it's not a good fucking.
It'll make you cry.
Yes.
Fuck you, Gex. Those games
Gex
are kind of
Enter the
fun,
Gecko.
but they weren't very great.
What the fuck were the references in those games, man? Those
They
weren't
had
little
a-
kid references. He made like Hugh Hefner references and references to like Silver Age of cinema actors and shit. Who
Yeah,
wrote that?
I don't know. I'm pretty sure not only does he make Hugh Hefner references, I feel like he wears the red robe with the black, like whatever that thing is called.
Mhm.
So yeah, the question that I had, right, is, while it's true, like if we all agree that violent video games don't make you violent, maybe it's a stretch to try to like apply this to other things. But people get uncomfortable with certain types of things happening in games, like sex being in a game is like, oh my god, like it's such a horrible thing to be in a video game for a lot of people.
What is that famous stage? No More Russians?
Yeah. No Russian.
No Russian. Yeah.
But even moving into like modern era, like PS3, like hitting pedestrians, they didn't let you use to hit pedestrians in games. They would always move out of the way and shit like that. So like in Saints Row for the 360 when it first came out, yeah, that shit was crazy when you could run over pedestrians, and Grand Theft Auto 4 let you do it.
When Grand Theft Auto came out, that opened the world up, and I think that's what people think. Oh, it leads to violent behavior because now you can just walk down the street and just shoot people for no reason. And people were like, "Oh, what's the violence in the games?" And it's like, in a way, I can see what they're saying because maybe a child really can't determine the difference of video game and real life. But that might go back to just like teaching them, like, yo, this is a game. In real life, you can't be walking around with a gun pointing it at people and shooting. Like, this is no restart. Maybe some kids have that form of that problem where they can't like make the difference. But I mean, in all, I don't think it makes you violent. I just think it gets you upset and at the game because you can't beat it. Like Doe would cry, or you would punch your controller, or Mateo would throw it, or I would break it and probably never do it again because I realized, like, damn, now I can't play the fucking game because I got mad at you know what I mean? So that's probably the violence that they do to the kids. But other than that, man, I knew that Grand Theft Auto was a game. I'm not going out there in real life shooting people because that's just not how that is.
Well, I mean, these studies are kind of complicated too to read, right? Because how do you rate someone's aggression level? How do you rate whether someone's violent or not? Are they just looking at whether they've been convicted of violent crimes? Is that the metric they're using? Are they putting probes into your brain and they can read what your aggression level is? No, they're not doing that. So like these studies are not perfect. And I would agree with Booch. I think there probably is some kind of like short-term spike, if nothing else. And I'm curious, do these desensitize you to things? Is there a chance of that, whether it's short-term or long-term? Why and it is a good question of why are certain things allowed? Like, why can we have a torture scene in Grand Theft Auto 5, right? There's that full-on torture scene where you torture that dude.
You don't remember? Go ahead, my bad. I thought you was done.
But you put some sex into a game and suddenly everyone's like up in arms. That game gets rated what is it, X, or there's the rating above MA, right? Like I forget what that rating is.
Right. I don't remember either, but I remember some like Leisure Suit Larry games had those ratings that were a little higher or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Magna cum laude. They're talking about the comings of college. That's pretty funny. But yeah, what I was trying to get at though was, I remember when Hotline Miami 2 came out, the trailer for the game shows like a rape scene where you're playing as this character, you kill a bunch of people, and then it's the end of the level, there's a cutscene, and then the guy basically throws a woman to the ground, climbs up on top of her, and then the screen like blacks out. And so you don't really see much. But it's the implications, like, he's going to rape this woman. And people were up in arms about this. I remember people were very upset about it. And I find it interesting that I guess a lot of people draw the line at rape. But, like, I mean, we are totally against murder. But, like, we're totally okay murdering hundreds of people in, like, a Grand Theft Auto game. You know what I'm saying? I find it interesting the things that we find acceptable that could exist in media versus the things that we wouldn't accept in our everyday lives. Like, how does that become like the case? You know what I'm saying? Like, was there a time? Obviously, games are pretty new, and in Hollywood and movies and stuff like that, there's been killing for a long time. So it's not like games had to jump that hurdle. But I just wonder, like, what are the new things that for a while is going to be unacceptable in games before it becomes acceptable? Or maybe it's never acceptable, you know what I mean?
No, that's fair. I know that there is some discourse about rape scenes in cinema, because I don't know, it's almost like lazy writing now. Like, you want like a woman to struggle in some kind of like action film or something, she almost gets raped, or she does get raped, and it's lazy writing, and it's just kind of like triggering for sexual assault victims and things like that. Doesn't mean that it shouldn't be done. I don't know. I think that I've definitely seen films where like I feel like that the film's messaging would have changed if they hadn't included things of that nature. But it's interesting. I do definitely agree that it's lazy writing. I mean, how many fucking films can you think where like there's just been a rape scene, or there's been references to sexual trauma just for the sake of they needed a shortcut and on creating some backstory for this character, I
do think, like, remember the outrage people had on that Call of Duty mission when you're going to the airport and you're fucking blasting the shit out of innocent civilians and shit. like I don't know if you guys realize there was no kids or any infants or childs in that part of the game. It was just strictly adults. But still, it's like people were like, "Oh my god, like how could they do this in a game?" I was like, I see how it's bad, right? But it's a video game. That shit happens in life. Not to that aspect, but Columbine shootings and shit. Like, I don't know if that, like, I don't know if it needed that much of uproar. Oh, my kids play it. Well, ma'am, that shit's.
I think it does. Allowing somebody to simulate a mass shooting, not very tasty. Like it's kind of tasteless in my opinion. Like in hindsight, with all the stuff that's happened,
What
like
does it mean?
it,
Tasteless. Like,
I mean, like allowing somebody to commit a mass murder.
well, you're saying it's not good. I'm asking, why do you think it's not good?
Tasteless because it just is you're putting yourself in that person's shoes, and that person obviously isn't of the right mind. It's like a power fantasy for them. I'm not too sure,
But
I
isn't the
mean,
video game like that? Like, especially RPG games, isn't that role playing? Like, you're there to live out a fantasy in some aspects. Like, we're all not fucking war heroes, but we play Verdansk 24/7. Like,
You do.
Well, I do.
yeah, but
You know what I mean?
Verdanska's doesn't primarily involve you killing like people who live in the area. You're killing other. There's like a mission. There's like a meaning.
Yeah,
to
but
that.
like GTA, you could just rampage and kill everybody.
And
Like-
bang a prostitute and then kill her and take her money, take the money back you
yeah,
spent.
facts.
and
Facts.
no one bats an eye.
No
Like-
one.
I don't know.
Like
They find
now.
that shit funny.
What it's interesting though. Like this is sort of what I'm trying to get at though. Is that like the lines that people draw? Like apparently David draws the lines at shooting at an airport, but if you're just killing and running people over in the middle of a road in a Grand Theft Auto game, it's not too bad. Like I don't see an issue with if there were kids in the game and you could just kill a bunch of kids in like a Grand Theft Auto game. Like, but I know people would lose their shit.
Imagine
yeah.
a game
Oh, yeah.
that's based on all the major shootings in the last 10
but
years.
you're going to a whole other degree. I'm saying, what if we just put children NPCs in a Grand Theft Auto game? People would lose their fucking mind.
Think you push a stroller into the street and let a car hit it. Like, people would be
Right.
like,
And I'm saying,
"Oh."
like, I wonder why we draw like, there's a line there. And that's sort of what I was trying to get at. Like, granted, I tweeted, like, I'm curious, I was like, I had this question in my mind, like, why would people be up in arms about like rape being in a game versus like murder, even though we think both are wrong? And then someone tweeted like, oh, murder victims don't have to play that part of the game.
Really?
And it's true. Like there's like trauma involved. Like someone who got raped is going to have difficulty playing or watching like rape scenes. Like it's possible, right? And that could be like traumatic for them. And it's a fine response. But I felt like it didn't really get to the crux of like what I was trying to get at, and I feel like I could have asked a better question, because it's like, just how do we draw this arbitrary line? Because now I'm asking, okay, why is it okay to kill like adults but not kill kids in like a video game?
Yeah.
It's like, I don't know why we drew that line, but I know that people would lose their mind. Like, they'll be like,
Well,
this is the
because
worst thing
it's-
ever. And even though we all agree, and the studies seem to agree that this stuff doesn't lead to violent behavior. So it's
Well,
like,
Well, I mean, it's that even crosses over into like non-video game stuff, though. I mean, like you hear about like child rapists getting killed by other prisoners in prison. They're getting killed by people that have murdered people and possibly raped people, but they were child sex offenders, so they get murdered in jail.
Yeah, they don't respect child molesters or anything in jail. That's like one of their big no-nos. Like the moment they realize that you're probably not going to make it out.
So I mean that part comes from that's the instincts that we all have to protect the young. Like it's the old school like pack and tribe instincts of there's no future for the tribe, there's no future for the society if you're killing your young, right?
Yeah,
I can see it from that aspect. Now, why we push that into a digital world where I don't know. I don't know why we keep that distinction there. Me personally, I wouldn't want to play a game that has like simulated rape scenes or anything in it. I think that would be kind of wrong. And I am torn on this, right? Because like one of y'all mentioned Columbine. There was a straight up like a school shooting simulator game that was trying to release on Steam, and they shut it down. Steam said, no, this game is not allowed on there. Steam has full on games though that feature like rape. I'm pretty sure that there's like some of those like weird Japanese hentai games on Steam that just have straight up like rape and incest.
All those like
things like that.
lolicon shit where you're like it looks kind of like an anime, and you're with like a bunch of very like teenage girls, and you're just hooking up and banging all these like children pretty much. It's like, dude, this is like straight up like rape shit.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. But yeah, that was that game Hatred. Or I remember when that trailer came out. It was very edgy. I want to kill, and then he's just going around just being a mass shooter or whatever.
He wasn't even there to kill chaos.
He wasn't even there to kill chaos. But again, I'm still like, I could understand why that upsets people. Like, it's like, okay, cool. Like you're touching on something that's traumatic for a lot of people. Like, there are people that are in fear of being involved in like a mass shooting, and there are people that are victims or no victims of mass shootings. You know what I mean? So like from that perspective, I get why people like why that would upset them. It's just, again, it's just like, if we agree that this stuff doesn't lead to violent behavior, then you're just upset about this stuff existing. It's not poisoning anybody's mind, because we already agree it's not going to lead to violent behavior. So it's like, what are we really mad about? Are we just mad that it's like a subject matter that makes you uncomfortable? Like, isn't that the point of art? Like, I don't know. I find it
gets deep.
I mean, that gets into a whole conversation right there too. Because there's lots of debate. Are video games art? Can video games be art?
Yeah, I mean, play Journey.
And what do you think art is? Everybody's different. Everybody has different views on what art is to them. You know what I mean? I think that's why art is so beautiful, because everybody can literally, like, maybe for me, I've never played Journey, but that looks really fucking good. You know what I mean? Like,
Journey's beautiful.
The colors.
You and Doey were making performance art in that grocery store in Florida.
Absolutely. I agree.
Should have charged a fee.
Facts.
Yeah, absolutely. When that guy was like, wow, you guys argue a lot, I would have been like, yeah, how much you trying to pay?
I don't know if it. Yeah.
Make sure you talk to your mic, though. It keeps cutting out. It's strange.
I don't know if it's because you're too loud.
It'll be fine on the local audio, at least, though.
I hope so.
On the general text?
In the general
text.
Well, I mean, so we all kind of agree that violent video games don't make you violent, but there is violence behind it in some ways because we get angry at it, or
I don't think they make you long-term violent. I don't think that any mass shooter has been taken seriously when they're like, I played too much Call of Duty. They're like, no, you were fucked in the head.
Yeah.
There's something a little off in you, buddy.
Yeah, I think it was the Columbine kids that were playing that game Postal or something like that.
I think they were playing a modded version of Postal or Doom or something, where they had put like pictures of their classmates like into the game, and like there's something like that.
I feel like some of that stuff is what started a lot of like the discourse of like, oh man, these video games are gonna, and then there was that one kid who started shooting a bunch of people like on a highway or something like that, and then he was like, yeah, I played GTA, and everybody was like, oh, Grand Theft Auto, and it's like,
are violent people more likely to play violent video games?
Right. That's a good question.
Are they going and they're just like playing Super Mario Odyssey and just fucking raging out? Because I get it. That gets frustrating sometimes.
Yeah.
I love that game. Play Celeste if you want to get fucking.
Oh my god.
But I think that's it for this episode on the One Up podcast. I do think that to all the viewers and listeners out there, we thank you. We're getting more likes and more followers, for sure, and
some
subscribers.
Of us are getting more followers.
Some of us here got more followers. Pucho and
I'm about to hit 200.
Damn, that's a thing.
It's a thing.
But
I'm disappointed. I moved past my 69, so now I've got like 73 or something.
But didn't you lose one? Did someone unfollow you or something like that?
I lose followers all the time, dude. I don't even know what happens. I don't care anymore.
I lost no followers on the rape question, and I was certain that I would, but I asked it anyways. I was like, if someone's gonna get pissed off that I would even say rape in a tweet, they'd be like, "Oh, you didn't even put a trigger warning or anything." Like, yeah. So I was like, dude, these people are gonna unfollow me, but maybe they're just waiting, you know. Like you can't do it right away, or else it's obvious, you know.
So all the listeners and the followers and the subscribers and all of you guys, we appreciate you. We're trying to break this little void that we're at to get more of you guys to listen and share it and stuff. I mean, we want exposure. We don't know what else to do. Maybe Doughboy's got to do something more elaborate here. Maybe Doughboy's got to dress up as a dolphin and just come up on the pod. All in his
Maybe
little
for the
costume.
Halloween. Maybe for the Halloween episode.
Yo, Dewey as a dolphin would be fucking hilarious.
But once again, thank you guys for listening and watching. And I hope you guys have a one-up day. Peace.
Go one up yourself.
I hope you have a one-up day.
Yeah, it's fucking strange.